is what is it about strategic planning? And when we talk about strategic planning, we are saying strategic planning as opposed to what kind of planning? So in other words, there is a thing called strategic planning. There's also other kinds of planning. Some of them complement strategic planning. Some of them actually go against strategic planning. Okay, so the first thing that we want to look at is to say to ourselves, yes, indeed, there is a need to plan and to plan strategically. And that concept of planning strategically is what we need to look at. There is an exercise we are going to do at the beginning. That exercise is called mindset issues. Okay? We are going to break into groups, and you are going to define certain mindsets within yourselves. What tends to happen in our church is that if I were to ask people here, what do you think is wrong with the East Central Africa division? What do you believe should be changed in order for the East Central Africa division to become a better division? Are you with me on that question? If I were to go around here, what I am likely to get is that people from Uganda will say, you know what, maybe if these Francophone people got their act together, maybe we would become a better division. People from Congo will probably say, you know what, if the leadership of the division changed, maybe we would become a better division. People from the pastorate would probably say, if the lay people became better, we would actually be okay. These lay people think that this money goes into our pockets. They don't understand that this is God's money. So we will have everyone pointing fingers at everyone else. And so basically what we are saying is that if we were to ask, what must we change in order for ECD to be a better division, all of us will be saying, change everything around me, but don't come anywhere near here. And that's what we want to look at. So the first exercise that we will be talking about is, what is it that needs to change in me for ECD to become a better division? Yes, we know that other people also have to change. But for now, that is not for you to determine. You deal with you. So that's the first exercise I would like us to do. I'm going to walk us through how that exercise is going to be done. I'm going to give you an example on the... Okay, that one. The left, the one that you can see. Sorry. Okay, so basically that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that exercise, and one of the things I always say is that when we are teaching any kind of transformation, any kind of change, and strategy is about change, because we're planning to move ourselves from one place to another, there is no point in teaching people who believe that the problem is with everyone else except themselves. And so I don't want to be teaching a class where everyone thinks, that's a very good point, but what they mean is, these guys need to hear it, not me. And so that's what we want to look at. So we will look at this mindset exercise. We will do it as the first thing that we need to do. And once we have done the mindset exercise, we'll present and try and present as honestly as we can. What is it that I have? You'll be shocked that it will actually liberate you. So let's do that. Let's present and let's look at that kind of mindset. Now you've got the notes in front of you, and the agenda talks. I'm not going to go through the agenda. It talks very much about the kind of things that we are going to look at. Then there is an area of objectives. Without necessarily looking too much at the objectives, in your own thinking, I want you to think of an objective that you have for this session of the President's Council. And if it is not included in there, I'd like you to just let me know, what it is, and then we'll see if we can answer it between today and Sunday. You know, we still have 2 hours on Sunday. So if there's anything that doesn't appear in there, but that actually you would like to get, please let me know that, and we can go ahead. So be thinking about that as we go through.
Thank you. My question was referring to that quadrant. I was trying to place myself in one of the quadrants.
Yeah.
And I was imagining someone in the third one.
Yes.
And this person has the talent.
Mm-hmm. So in third quadrant, talent equals 1.
Yeah, he's in the
so
third.
He's here, and he's this one.
Yeah, and he has the talent. Now, does that one have any effect? Because having realized that I have the position, I have the qualification, I have the talent, don't I think that I'm the one who's worthy of that position?
No.
And would that one not affect?
No, that is the beginning point. And in your case, maybe I can use this. Forgive me, everyone else, those who have not been through the STOP course. But in your case, what you are saying is you have looked at the source. If we look at the STOP analysis, you have asked yourself, where am I? Yes. Then you have said, I am in quadrant 3, and I have talent. Yes. Then you need to go forward, isn't it? What's the next thing after source? Target. Where do I want to be? In other words, are you happy that now that you have said that you have the qualifications, you have the position, and you have the talent, so now you sit, that's enough? No, you don't, because that's just the source. Are you listening to me? Yes. That's just the source. Then you need to ask yourself, where do I want to be? Am I doing the best with what I have? Because the fact that you have got this does not mean that you're already performing. As you can see, we have not talked performance here. We have talked qualification, we have talked position, we have not yet talked performance. There are many people with qualifications, positions, and talents, and who are sitting and doing nothing. So that will just be the beginning point. And we're going to see that when we look at the STOP analysis.
Now, just in addition to that, you said something like, having realized that I don't have the talents, I would rather decline and say, okay, honestly, I don't have the talent for this job. I would rather be left. Now, I was even imagining the case of Moses, who honestly, when he analyzed himself, he found that he could not make it. And say, no, Lord, it can't be. It is not me. Now, how do you, what's your comment on that situation?
Okay. Number one, I have had absolutely no difficulty in declining positions, because I think one of the things that we need to be very clear about is that we have selective application of the scriptures. So when it is convenient for me, and that's what I mean by selective application, when it is convenient for me and I'm being nominated to do something that I feel there is gain for me personally, I say it's God who is saying. When it's something that does not seem to be convenient for me, I invoke all the scriptures and I research as widely as possible to prove that actually, no, this is not God, this is you guys from the church board. So what I'm saying is, if we actually do this thing prayerfully and we actually go down and ask, the Lord will actually speak to us. And most of us actually know the truth about our competencies. We know them. But once we are given a particular position, we just don't have it in us to say no to something that has personal return to us. And that's the distinction that we need to try.